Buongiorno. Welcome back, everyone. Episode 23, Inside the Process podcast. If you didn't know, I'm just back from a little holiday, which we'll get into. But Mr. Lewis Agnew, you are fucking every week we do this. You're a good chunk leader, mate. A good chunk leader. So, how are things for yourself? How's prep going? How many weeks out are we? Little update on yourself.
We are absolutely, we're absolutely cruising, mate. Yeah, literally as you say, like lean us out at every single time we jump on this. The things like, as I said in the last one, start to kind of feel like I'm prepping now. Like with regards to like at the end of the day and stuff, just feeling a little bit tired. But again, nothing too major. Obviously, that kind of the brain fog after sets as well.
Mm.
Like on I came off I think I was speaking about this. I came off like the hip press or the hip thrust, and I was genuinely like, "Fuck, I'm staying still," but like my head is spinning. I'm like, "Fuck, I'm going to pass out here."
Yeah, you're so
But
lightheaded. Like that happened to me so much. Really, yeah, it's just get used to it at a point.
mhm,
Like it is pretty crazy.
yeah,
And I just realised as well that hello in Italy is ciao, not buongiorno, but that
yeah,
just
I
sounds
was a
better,
wee
doesn't it?
bit like,
What does buongiorno mean? Is that French or
bonjour,
something?
buongiorno,
What?
but bonjour is French, but buongiorno,
I think
I
buongiorno is
was,
something in Italy.
I'm searching it up. Buongiorno
The only thing I picked up in Italian was ciao.
is Italian greeting for good morning or good day, so
Oh,
it's
bang on,
fine.
mate. Yeah, picked up the lingo. But yeah, like that does happen. It's just a byproduct of getting lean, just being,
Yeah,
low blood pressure, etc. But yeah, how many weeks out are we now?
we are currently. Oh, I need to pull up the sheets, man. That's how process orientated I am. I've actually
I
lost
know.
I've lost count. 46 days from the UK DFBA,
God damn.
53 days from the WNBF, 74 from PCA 93.
Have you had to make any changes, or have you just been cruising on usual targets like regular high days, etc.? How's that been?
How we got more food going in today is a kind of unplanned. 425 carb was what we were going to have. 425 is the baseline, but we had 500. So just having the high day meal one, just try to
Yeah,
push bonus.
made that side chest yesterday. Was looking absolutely lovely.
Yeah, I mean, I took 20 grams to double pump.
What's it, the servings like 16 or something? 15?
Yeah, 15, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Do you just have turbo pump on its own?
And no, 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 no.
Yeah, I was about to
Um,
say that tastes fucking awful.
I put in like 2 scoops of hydroflow. You need to.
Fair enough. Two scoops, fair enough. I remember the first time I had it was at the BNBF Scotland, and it was like before I went on stage, and like I didn't know like what it was. Josh just gave me it, and I was like, "What the fuck have you just gave me? Like, this tastes awful, mate. Like
Mate, it smells like
awful."
licorice, I think, though. Like,
Yeah, I mix it with
it is
like
weird
so
though.
I have two pump products, and I mix it with the supplement needs one. It's like lemon sherbet. It actually just tastes like lemon sherbet with the turbo pump. So best of both worlds there, which is absolutely mega.
Yeah, often I've found myself mixing it a few times with a lemon fizz bomb defib as well. It just takes
Yeah,
that, but you've got that texture though. Like, you can't get rid of the texture.
yeah. You love a
Like
little
it's that.
monster, don't you? You're on the daily monsters.
I've not had a monster. I've not had a monster since yesterday.
Jeez, oh.
Yeah, but just like realistically, like I'm it's a psychological thing. I notice, like,
Mhm.
but literally, like, if I'm doing everything right, like, there's no harm in just cracking open a fucking monster. Like
Yeah, fair enough, mate. Mate, literally in
this,
prep, like I had them like I think the most I had them was like maybe like 3 times a week, but it was just like an enjoyment thing. Like it just tastes good.
yeah,
Like it's
yeah.
literally
That's
just
that. But mate, you can't beat it. Like, I took my. You froze a little bit for
oh
a second there.
yeah, we're back
Oh,
though.
we're
We're
back.
back.
Um, like for a wee while, like the aux in my car wasn't working, so I just had to listen to the fucking radio, and then it fixed itself again. And you take that for granted, just driving to the gym with your own music on, with a monster.
So peak, mate.
Mate, it's so
So
peak,
peak.
mate. It's so peak.
So peak.
You get just turbo pump ready to go in. Like, you don't get better than that. Like, genuinely.
Yeah, peak. Have you got any holidays planned for the maybe later on this year, or have you got any stuff planned for that?
I booked Milan the other day.
Yep, man. Yeah, I'm going back to. So also I'm just back from Rome as well. I'm going to Venice in July as well. But
Hmm
when is Milan?
That's the ninth. I've booked the 9th of July till the 13th.
Okay, so I'm gonna be in Italy 3 times in the space of like 4 months, mate, or
Mate, there's
less
no
than that.
better place to be.
Mate, Italy's beautiful. Like
Mhm.
Rome is amazing, mate. I don't think you've
Yeah.
been before, have you?
No, I've never been there.
Oh, mate, absolutely amazing. Like, I just love Italy so much. Like, generally, one of the highlights of that trip was just like, see, just the streets, mate. Like, the streets are just
Hmm.
beautiful. Like, the buildings, like, the vibe is just immaculate, mate. Also, as we were discussing earlier, like, the gym I trained at yesterday was my favorite gym I've ever been to, mate. Like, it
Yeah.
was so good. It's just like peak old school vibes. I don't think the videos would have done it any justice, but it has a lot of history as well, like on the wall and stuff. Like all the top old bodybuilders, a lot of pictures and autographs from like Milos, Dorian Yates and stuff. Like it has just had a lot of history.
Yeah, it's super,
Um,
super cool.
and like the kit they had like really good kit as well. They had like Cybex hack. They had like the all like the Nautilus incline press pieces, Nautilus flat
Yeah.
press, Nautilus single arm pull down. They had a lot of Nautilus Cybex, Life of Fitness. It was just fucking insane. It was massive, mate, as well. But it was literally just for like old fucking meatheads, mate. Like it was just peak vibes. Like it just like a
Italian,
gym.
mate.
Literally, it's just like a gym you just want to get in and get after it. I was a little outlier with my tripod. I actually forgot to bring a tripod, and then the gym I went to the day before, I just bumped a tripod from there, to be honest, because I needed the pound. So, which is peak. But
Tripods are a lot more expensive than dark chocolate, mate. You need to up your game.
that's very true. That is very, very true. But yeah, that was absolutely amazing. And as well, I got a little story as well. So they do cash only, right? Because it's
Hmm.
fucking old school traditional. And there was like, I went at like 7:30 in the morning. I didn't know it was cash only. I didn't have my card with me, didn't have any cash on me. So I had to go on a fucking mission. Again, it's like 8 o'clock in the morning. I don't know why, but the shops like open up like fucking 9, 10 a.m. and like
Yeah.
it's not even in the city as well. So it was like 20 minutes away from like the city. So I was staying in the city. So it was like proper like, just normal Italian area. And I had to go into like the local fucking like vegetable shops, mate, where no one speak English. Get my Google Translate. I got it all filmed for the YouTube as well, so I'm looking forward to getting that there. But it's just like me, my Scottish ass, just trying to tell them like if I can use Apple Pay. And then they can give me the cash back, and then people won't have it. And I went into this like vape shop, and the guy was just an absolute G, and he was a plug. So
It's always
yeah, but it was a good little experience, mate. Like, so the final day, I was pretty much like kind of like myself. So obviously I went with my auntie, my sister, and then the final day and a half, pretty much I was with myself, and like it gave me like a real like itch to just like do some solo traveling. Like it was really fucking enjoyable, mate. Like again, little things like that is
yeah,
just like fun. Like even just like going to the airport, like flying home yourself and stuff, like just being in the airport and stuff. Like it's just like a good, like it's just like, a really cool experience. It honestly it did give me the itch to like do some traveling. Obviously,
yeah.
like I've got Venice, Milan,
So much
probably
planned.
Japan. I might be going to Athens as well in October, so I've got fucking plenty of traveling for the year as well, and I'm not going to be booking any kind of solo trips probably as well, especially
Hmm.
how much we'll be going down to England and stuff. So a lot
Yeah,
of traveling, but a lot of progress as well. Came back as well like a kilo down, or like half a kilo down this morning as well, which is absolutely mega. I mean, I did like K steps in the last like 2 days. My feet are actually just full of blisters as well, man.
yeah,
I really underestimated how like Milan is like it's like everything you need to do is pretty much together
mm,
apart from like kind of
aye,
Vatican City. So it's like a 30-minute walk from like each monument. So you're racking up a good amount of steps, you know what I'm saying? It's enjoyable, pizza, pasta, pastry, ice cream, walk, and then you know what I'm saying, just mix that in, mate.
digestion walk. Call it
Oh
a
mate,
digestion walk, and
the food was absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
I mean it always is, isn't it? Like
You
it really
can't
is.
beat I'm not even like a pastry guy, but I did have a couple pastries because the breakfast bar had unlimited pastries, which was a dangerous, dangerous game.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But I'm not even a pastry kind of guy, but I really did enjoy the pastries over there. But you can be like, I see like at the first restaurant we went to, it's like kind of like really authentic Italian place, but it was like really small portions. So what we did
Yeah,
was like everyone's like got a pasta dish and we kind of like split it between us to just try everything. And mate, I had this carbonara, it was just fucking beautiful, mate. You would have loved it. Like, when
yeah,
you go to Italy and they give you like the little like tub of cheese for the table, you can just like sprinkle it on.
yeah.
Oh mate, it was beautiful. But
I
yeah,
can't I
Italy, you
can't wait
can't
to go
beat it.
back, man.
It's honestly one of my favorite countries I've been to. It's just absolutely beautiful. I'm looking forward to going back, and the ice cream is absolutely amazing as well. But that's enough for the food chat. And then I've trained. I actually wasn't even planning on. I was planning on getting one session, like fitting in like a full body session before the airport,
Yeah,
but we pretty much done everything we wanted to. So I went to this different gym. It's actually where you know the bodybuilding summit the like last month where
Yeah, yeah,
that's like where all like Cuba, John Jewett train and stuff. So I went there. It was a really good gym. I was talking to a guy as well because like I'm pretty sure I'm sure I stick out like a sore thumb. You know what I'm saying? Training with all the Italians, but the guy I was talking to was like, "Where are you from? Where are you from?" And this happens so much. See, every time you're talking to like someone you know from a different country, and you say you're from Scotland, and they're like, "Oh yeah, like I was in like London or England last month." That's what you say. I was like, "Mate, it's
uh,
not the same thing, not the same thing, but it
yeah,
kind of is." You know what I'm saying? UK, blah blah blah. But I was saying to him that like the English in Italy is like it's pretty decent. Like you can hold conversations with people like a lot. Like it's you know it's not really a problem. And I was saying to him that his English was very good, and I think that he took it as like a big compliment. And he was like kind of like on the phone to his girlfriend, and I was like pure talking to his girlfriend, like bigging his English up and stuff, and he was fucking excited. But it was good. But yeah, the vibes were unreal. Gym was absolutely amazing. I had a lot of good kit as well. Like that upper session, I used. There was a lot of like, even like mate, I used this like techno gym row, and it was fucking amazing,
yeah,
mate. It was just like I just like wanted to try like random bits of kit that you wouldn't kind of get in the UK. You know what I'm saying, which is amazing. So absolutely amazing experience. 2 days in Rome, wrapped up, and straight back to it. And I'm obviously off to the PCA and that is one tomorrow. So I'm literally in my house for a full day, then back to traveling, which is absolutely mega.
yeah, mate. It doesn't stop, does it?
Yeah, but I was actually saying to Josh, in my check-in just there, is like what I'm really looking forward to is obviously like, you know, all the shows that you do later in the year. I'm really looking forward to just going down with you as well. Just like for the experience for myself as a coach to just almost be like a sort of like kind of fly in the wall in a
Yeah.
sense. And obviously like even like let's say, you know, Josh might not be there for like every single one of your shows that I can be like, you know, a kind of second eye for Josh as well. Because
Uh-huh.
I'm speaking to Josh as well and what he's planning on doing if he isn't able to go to some of the shows. Like so what we did as well, obviously last year, Josh was like at every single one of my shows but one, I think. And it was a UK day,
Yeah.
so I was with.
Yeah.
And then no one, what they did was we just created a group chat pretty much with Josh in it. We're pretty much like sending all the shots in, you know, they were giving their
hmm
feedback, you know, what they saw, etc. And I think that's what you know, we're gonna do the same if that's the same for yourself. I was speaking
Yeah.
to Josh about that. And you're just being a fly in the wall and just like kind of soaking up as much knowledge as possible, going to as
Yeah.
many shows as I possibly can, just to kind of, you know, gain experience, knowledge, especially with when it comes to your picking process, and just learn as much as possible when it comes to me as a coach, which I'm very much looking forward to.
Uh-huh.
I really think that is going to be beneficial for myself. And I've also got my first prep client starting prep in 4 weeks' time. I want to say, or no, 2 weeks' time actually, 2 weeks' time, sorry. Which is very exciting. So
Yeah.
get that underway. Which I'm honestly super excited for, mate. It's a, you know, I feel like it's a start of a new chapter. You know what I'm saying? Prep clients, and
It is,
next year
it
I've
is,
got
it is.
I think like 4 or 5 prep, and like they're making that fucking shit ton of progress. And it's just exciting times, mate. Exciting
Yeah,
times.
mate.
So
100%, 100%. And I was kind of thinking that as well with some shows that if maybe Josh couldn't be there, I would obviously like trust your eye in a way.
100%.
It's not obviously just a case of like we would trust what anyone fucking says, but like Josh, you're similar in the way that you see my physique a lot. You know, almost because we just talk about it in general conversation, you know what works and like
Yeah.
what X or Y does do to the physique. So yeah, it will be super cool. It'll be super cool to sort of have you as the sort of second eye
Yeah.
if
It's really
in
exciting, mate.
Josh's
It's really
absence.
exciting. It's
Yeah.
almost time to kick off the season, mate, and it is super exciting. I feel like it is the start of you know
hmm
something you've been working towards for a good while now. Which is exciting.
Yeah, it's all kind of coming to fruition now. I was kind of thinking about it the other day, when I was thinking about like my pre-prep diet and shit. I'm like, that feels like so fucking long ago, but like it genuinely like it actually isn't. Like we've literally been like quote unquote bodybuilding. It'll be what 2 years in September. It's not even really that long.
I know, but
It just
it feels like you know when you're in like deep within off season, it can feel very long. But now the phase you're in, like it feels like it's just gone by like that. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
mate. We're literally I'm nearly halfway through prep.
That- Like and it's just like it feels like you just started prep last week. You know,
Yeah,
even for myself. But I was
yeah.
actually speaking to a client yesterday, and you know, like a couple months back, it was like I'm pretty sure they're 46 weeks, so their diet starts next week. Made an absolute so much progress, a lot of tissue gain. But a couple months back, you know, we were having a good conversation about, you know, just the sort of like the monotony of the part of the process that they're in. And it's just about delayed gratification. Like they were making so much progress, like there was no changes needed for a good few weeks again because They're simply ticking the boxes. Their training's progressing. The scale is gradually increasing, increasing, increasing. And if no changes are made, no changes are need to be made, there's no need to make any changes. So I was kind of like talking to them
Literally.
about that, and realizing that when your process is boring, not much is happening. You're living the same day, week on week on week, and you're just going in. You're progressing your training. Like, be so grateful for that, because again, there'll be times where injuries come up, illnesses come up, life pops up, and you're not able
Hmm.
to
Yeah,
recover maybe as best as possible. Your sleep's a little bit off, and when you're just ticking the boxes, like, this is where the true progress is being made. And we're now at the end of this gaining phase, and at that time he was like, I feel like it was just like a little bit. He just needed reminded of the part of the process he's in. But now he's like, it just flew by. It flew by, even
yeah,
though at the time it felt so long and monotonous. Now it's gone so fast. So just a reminder for anyone, especially because obviously the majority of your time in bodybuilding, obviously, if you want to make maximal progress, should be in a gaining phase. And again, it's not fun. You're not necessarily seeing progress, but it's that skill of delayed gratification. That's something that I need to go over a lot, a lot, a lot. Is
yeah,
that delayed gratification, especially as a natural athlete? Like, it's going to be slow. It's going to be slow, but you need to learn to tick the boxes, even when you're not seeing progress, even when it's not fun, exciting. It's trusting the process, and that's literally, as you said, it's just trusting the process and being process orientated, pretty much.
yeah. No, 100%, mate. Like you say, they often find the best check-ins are the boring ones, and it's not glamorous in
Hundred
any way,
percent,
shape, or form. But when the check-ins are like fucking 5, 6 minutes long and there's nothing to change from the outside in, you might think, oh, for fuck's sake, like, what's the point in that? But
yeah,
that's ultimately when everything is spot on, when you don't need to be like, oh, fucking, we're changing this next week or changing that next week. When there's no changes being made on a week to week to week basis, that's when you know that things are, moving in the right direction. And like you say, it may be boring, but that's just the nature of pushing food, pushing your body weight up, just gaining in general. And every day can feel a little bit the same. You don't really feel like you're looking any better, but at the end of the day, it's needed. Like, if you hadn't committed to your gaining phase and if I hadn't committed to mine, we'd be in completely different positions to what we are now.
100%, 100%. Like, your gaining phase, how well you execute that. Again, your prep, you're on a stupid amount of food for how lean you're. And that's because how much you nailed your gaining phase. But
Yeah.
another way as well, like, a coach, if you want to make maximal progress, like, in a sense, I feel like this is what I like to do as well, is like educate clients on what actually is progress and what actually is going to drive progress. For example, constantly changing your training, constantly looking for novelty is not where the progress lies. The progress
Hmm.
lies in simply just simply just doing your training plan to the highest quality. So aiming for that, aiming for, when progress is slow, when you're aiming for plus ones, like, that's where
Yeah.
like, that's where it's exciting, and then where the true progress lies, and educating people on, like, this is what actually drives progress and what we are actually focus on, rather than maybe focus on these things that may be more exciting, more sexy, but that's not where the progress lies, unfortunately. And
Yeah.
again, it's hard to sell that to someone.
Eh,
It's easy to sell it when it's happening and you're showing them, like, this, you're making this progress because of this, and you can see this.
mhm.
That's when it gets exciting, and again, the knowledge starts to kind of, their eye for the process, in a sense, that their knowledge for the process start to develop as well, and then it gets much easier to, almost buy them into the plan, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, no, 100%, mate. 100%, like you say, like when it comes to things like being fucking sexy within the process, like, oh, I want to try this new movement because like, oh, this progression, this like mode of progression or the rate of progression, sorry, is slowing down. No, literally, that is the more you use a movement, the more accustomed you become to the movement. And yes, progress is going to be quote unquote slower, but that's realistically where the most progress is going to be made. The
Mhm.
neurological adaptations are zilch, and even every last rep that speeds up ever so slightly is a fucking progression. And that's another thing I was speaking about a client a few days ago. Like they were saying about maintaining everything. I was like, oh, kind of maintained a lot throughout the session, but like realistically, if you look at the speed of this rep this week in comparison to the same rep last week. It's a progression. Again, that's just I think when it comes to looking kind of beyond the logbook, when it comes to progression. Logbooks are fucking fantastic too. Don't get me wrong, and I swear by it, and I really really like to use a logbook. And I put a lot of my progress down to having a logbook. However, it doesn't tell the full picture. I feel like you need to kind of zoom out and look at other sort of things, like I said, like rep speed, execution, for to just to name a few, to paint that full accurate sort of picture.
I was literally talking about that, and literally the last check I did before I jumped in this podcast was the logbook. And again, when clients train to a very, very high standard, like I still get them to sign clips because it's not like yes, there might not be many more improvements to make, maybe little things here and there, but most importantly is just ensuring that the quality stays high as we progress the logbook. It's very, very easy. Again, when progress is slow, to chase that logbook, get that sloppy +1. But again, the goal of the logbook is to progress the stimulus. That is why we
Yeah,
progress the reps, the load. If that comes with a sacrifice of execution, then you're actually regressing in a sense. Like you really are. You're actually regressing rather than progressing. So again, like even the sessions that I did in Italy, where else did I train? I trained somewhere else recently as well, but see when I don't have that logbook, I actually find it really enjoyable when I don't have a target and just every now and then just not having that and just literally focusing on, you know, really high quality execution, internal feel. Like obviously I'm still being aggressive, outputting
yeah,
100%, but just not chasing that logbook. I actually do find to be pretty enjoyable at times. And just like kind of as well, this is something that I was saying as well to a client was don't be afraid to almost like, and I know this might sound backwards, actually deviate from the plan a little bit. So, for example, what I mean by that is obviously not just doing whatever exercise you want, but for a sense, if something feels good, maybe at the end of your arms, for example, add in a little rest pause set if you want, see how that feels. Or
yeah. When you're pushing
let's
up, there's
say
nothing wrong with that. Like,
100%. And like, he sent me clips and he was like, apologies, like the set felt good and I just added an extra set. I was like, mate, don't apologize. Like, I actually want you to do that going forward. Like, if you feel something feels good or you have feedback, like, again, give me that feedback. If you want to try this out, try that. Like, do not be afraid to try things out, especially this is for everyone out there as well. If you have a coach, like, yes, you have a training plan. Yes, obviously, volume, following the volume logbook obviously is pretty important at times, but every now and then, if something feels good, you want to try this out, you want to try it out, just try it out because again,
yeah,
there's nothing afraid in trying. If it's not good, if it doesn't feel good, okay, you just go back to the plan. If it feels good, then you'll get that could be again some adjustments that could be made. So again, don't be afraid to trial things out, and don't be afraid to go out with the lines. I would say there as well.
yeah. No, 100%. I totally agree with that. Like, especially if you're training at like another gym as well. Like,
Yep.
the one that I can think about is when we went to Derby and you were doing like the drop sets on the gym Leco, and then when we went down to, was it Leeds between that?
Yes, it was
Um, and I
Northeast. I think
done,
Northeast.
yeah, no, oh yeah, Ultraflex North Leeds, and I did the drop set on the gym Leco again. Like, was it fun? Yeah. Did it fuck me up for days after it? Yeah. But
Yeah.
you learn from it. You have a bit of fun, and realistically, it's not going to stand in the way of making much progress, especially when you've got a good amount of food behind you. Your recovery capabilities are as high as they, will be. It
Yeah.
doesn't hurt to add in like an extra sort of like a set intensifier or just like another set altogether.
Again, there's a time and place. There's a time and place
Yeah,
there.
100% time and place.
A similar example actually was when I was in Italy. I did a lot of like kind of mile rep stuff, so like kind of like double rest pause sets for like
Hmm.
time reasons. And like mate, actually going into my arm training going forward, like, I'm going to start doing that. Maybe even like my last set on like each bicep movement, each tricep
Yeah.
movement is just some added volume and a time crunch. And I actually started doing that on leg extension as well. My final set on my leg day, literally just doing like a mile rep set
Hmm.
at the end of the session. Like my legs are blowing. I really enjoy it. Again, it's just enjoyable as well, mate. You know what I'm saying? Just add
Yeah,
in a little
100%.
mix as well. So that's just something for you as well. But I've got a question here. Before I dive into some of the questions, because I've got a couple here. Just do it in order here. Only train using one machine manufacturer for rest of your bodybuilding career. Who are you choosing?
You and me answer first.
I mean, I've got an answer if you want. If you want to, I think it literally has to be
Prime.
between. I'm going
It's
to disagree.
prime. Okay,
I'm
okay.
going to disagree. Actually, that's a good point. Actually, I didn't even think of that, but I was actually primarily thinking, and I'll give you my reason here. I was thinking Nautilus or Cybex because of, and I think I'm going to go Cybex just because of like every single body part. Do you know what I mean? Like a prime. I mean, I guess you've got a prime hat squat.
Cable, you get a prime cable stack. I don't know what the prime hat spot looks like though. That's what I was
Yeah,
thinking.
prime leg press. You know what I'm saying? It's just because I think the only prime
Yeah.
leg press I've seen is like the pin loaded version. You know what I'm saying? It's like pretty naff. So again, you don't need a leg press, but
Hmm.
I'm just saying for the versatility, I do think Cybex, like
Yeah, I'd
Cybex,
be
you literally have everything.
yeah, I'd be prime or Cybex. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
Nautilus
use
is
a
very.
lot of Cybex pieces now, and I'm just I get
I
along with
think
them
I would just
super.
go. Yeah, I think I would just go Cybex. See what Cybex Smith, Cybex cable, Cybex hack, Cybex leg press, Cybex leg extension, hamstring curl, flat row raise. We've got loads
Yeah.
of press machines, back
What
machines.
even
You've got
are like the what does the prime like press even look like?
prime leg
I
press.
don't
So
prime
it's in.
like
So
press.
see what we do the toe press on the Cybex leg press for
Uh-huh.
calves. It's that but prime. So like it's not. So it's like it's a leg press, but it's not really a leg press. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Future has it. I used to
Just
do it
use
in
it.
Future.
Yeah, 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 you just use it right. Prime hacks. What?
The Northern Ireland, I think that's what Butcher uses
Oh, Jake
in
uses it.
Future.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Oh, that one's pretty good. I've heard a lot of good things about that.
Yeah. So what was the irregular miss Cybex or Prime? I'm gonna go Cybex personally.
Yeah, I'll go Cybex too.
Some of the pieces as well. So they add like, a lot of like old school pieces. They add like the really, really old Nautilus pieces, and some of them are just absolute gems, mate. Did you see like the angle of the leg press I was using? Like the curve that almost went on.
Is that on the second clip? Let me put that up actually.
Nah, so it's on the first couple of posts. First couple of posts.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah. It actually feels pretty good, but I thought I'd just jump on it because it looked very, very goofy, to be honest.
Yeah. Well, no, let's fucker. You're in the Cybex hack as well, man.
Yeah. It actually felt really good as a really, really good Cybex hack.
Yeah. Is that three and a half plates? The
Yeah,
plates to
measly
advise?
3.5 plates. I did what? Last, the Cybex hacking JPs, I did 3 and a 15 a few weeks ago.
Did you?
So, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was 3.5 plates, but that was after like 50k steps, so we'll put it down to that.
Yeah, I'd have been 4.5 if it wasn't for that.
Yeah, exactly, mate, exactly. This isn't even a question. It's just I mean, I guess that is
Statement.
a question. Pretty please can we make Beyond the Process weekly episodes? Prayer
Who
emoji.
said that? Who said that?
Adam.
Oh,
We do try, but it's just like see getting like 4 or 5 people when like we relatively are busy. Like, everyone has different schedules, etc. Like it is pretty hard to do it on a weekly basis. Like mate, at the start we were struggling because we had too much people available. Like remember, like we actually had like 7 people wanting to come at a time. But now we're kind of struggling. But we'll just do it whenever we can, and especially with show season starting up, like it's probably going to be harder. But even if it is like monthly
during the
or
week or whatever.
bi-weekly, like
Yeah,
yeah, or whatever it is, like I guess it
they are
just makes it
bangers.
more. That's what I'm saying. It makes it
It's
more,
like Flop Gear.
yeah, literally, it makes it more exciting. You know what I'm saying we build up the hype. Do you want to do a question? Got any
Yeah,
questions?
yeah. From Shane McCall, favorite cereal of all time.
I think it has to be between two for me. So low fat cereal, if I was to actually put it in my plan, I would say Cookie Crisp, and then high fat cereal I think has to be Craze. Craze? Is that the name? Craze? Crepes? Or like, yeah, they're good.
I've never been big on cereal ever. So like, I genuinely think like I've only ever tried like I will have only ever tried in my life like less than five cereal. Like genuinely, like
I just like, mate, pasta and cereal. I just like had PTSD from off season. Honestly, like it's yeah,
I'd go Frosties but with no milk.
that is diabolical.
It's
That
just
is
pure
fucking
sugar, mate.
diabolical. Yeah, that is literally exactly what.
Frosties with no milk.
Can I just have a bowl of sugar, please, for free workout?
Yeah, yeah, that's what my favorite cereal of all time would be yeah, Frosties with name.
I used to have cocoa shells a lot, and I actually can't eat them again, mate.
I've got other two questions that will get answered on the um answered on my Instagram. Just froze. Another two questions that will answer on beyond the process because they are beyond the process. We've got
Now,
another one. Hardest part of prep. I'll fire that over at you. What was your
hardest
hardest part of
part of
prep?
prep. Obviously, I mean, my hardest part of prep would just be, honestly, and this is like, doesn't really answer the question, but it would just be the sort of, it would actually be sort of post prep, and it would just, or I guess prep as well, but just the hormonal, how would I word it? Her,
Dysregulation.
yes, perfect. Hormonal dysregulation. So, like, especially right now, like my test is still pretty low, but I was literally in stage condition for like a good, literally 5 months. 5, 6 months being stage condition. Like, that's very unhealthy. First of all, so just like low testosterone. Just that general, like, you just don't have, like, even like now it's just coming back, but that just general like oomph, excitement
Yeah.
in your day to just do a task. Like, it's just your life is very almost like boring in a sense. Even
Hmm.
training, it's just like nothing really excites you. I think that is probably the. I didn't struggle with it because my ability to crack on is very good in a sense, like resilience. But
Yeah.
it is just, I sort of realize that now. That's the sort of thing that it was just
When
least
you're in it, you
enjoyable
don't
part, I
realize
would
it though,
say.
innit? Like,
Yeah, like, I wouldn't even say like I struggle with anything. It was just the least enjoyable thing. It's just like that, dysregulation of your hormones. It does have a big
hmm
impact, especially on your mental health, you could say as well.
hmm
I feel like it does have a big impact. So that is just what I would say, and something that I definitely think being wary of, going into prep is pretty important as well. Because that's something I didn't really think about as well. Going to prep, but I guess obviously I didn't realize how long my prep would be as well. So that is definitely something to consider, and definitely something that I found probably the hardest of prep personally. Anything
hmm
that you found so far?
I was trying to think there what you were saying. To be honest, like nothing crazy.
Yeah,
Like I find myself slightly like more emotional, maybe.
yeah,
Like
and yeah,
I'm
mem-
I'm like more sensitive to music in the gym. Like I could easily swing either way, but I think like if I was to literally prep like 6 months ago, it would be so different because of just how much I've matured as like a person. Like I'm not
yeah,
stressed over literally anything. Like I'm till I yesterday I had stupid company took £40 out of my bank account and I was stressed about that 'cause I was just like, oh, I need to phone the bank and blah. But apart from that, mate, like I've not struggled at all. I mean, like sometimes if I wake up, I might be a little bit snappy,
okay,
but I try and control that. And if I'm like snappy with Ellie, I just say like, look, I'm feeling really impatient. Just to
yeah,
tell you, I'm feeling really
just
impatient.
communication maturity.
Yeah, uh-huh. That's the big thing, mate. Just if people in the house, they can see it. Like if I'm a wee bit like not doom and gloom, but like struggling a wee bit, like I'm just not speaking to people, I'll be kicking about my headphones on. That's really
Yeah.
all, mate. Like sometimes you just don't want to speak to people, but that's
Again, that's sort of like similar from what I just went over. It's just that kind of,
yeah,
reduction in hormones. And again, like that emotional, being very, very emotional is, a byproduct of that. And I don't know if you remember me, but there was actually a couple of times, especially in the gym, where like I think it was after the hat school sale, I literally started like crying, like literally just like
yeah,
I literally just like burst out in tears. And that was just because like for that set, like I was just really amped up. I probably got myself a bit too emotional.
yeah.
But
Mhm.
again, that was when like again hormones were in the bin. Like I was just really pretty tired at that stage. And again, like when like, you need to be able to take it to the next level to again retain performance.
Yeah.
Um so that was just obviously something to look out for as well. But again, you're going to be a very emotionally again. You're in an extreme, and with
Yeah.
that, obviously comes a lot of sort of side effects you could say as well. So yeah,
hmm
but again, especially when head into prep, like don't be looking for these things, because see when
hmm
you're looking for these things, like it's just gonna come to life
Yeah.
more. It's
If
gonna
you look for them, they will find you, and they will find you sooner.
yeah, it's going to again. This is as well. See when it comes to digestion as well, like 99.9%
Hmm
of digestion issues will be stress related, a
100%.
100%. And
Yeah.
all the cases I've seen with clients, and a commonality is, first of all, they're either very stressed individuals. So putting modalities in place to help reduce their stress is key in that as well, and what helps digestion a lot. Number two is just like they're going through a very stressful time in their life. Okay. And most things, actually, most positive benefits I see towards helping, clients' digestion problems that may pop up is actually not even obviously changing foods, meal plans obviously going to help, but the biggest thing I see is just actually the environment, the way they eat their food, the, you know, the mindset that they go into eating their food, being a calm, relaxed, parasympathetic state
Yeah,
is going to result in much more benefits rather than looking for a supplement, etc. All of this stuff. Honestly, digestion issues, 100% most of the time, it is stress related, 100%.
yeah. I agree with that. I agree with that. See, I genuinely like see when I make my moves. I genuinely will put my phone to the side. I'll put like I'll honestly full transparency. I put about a Fortnite on the telly. I was watching 100 day Minecraft challenge hardcore yesterday, and just like
So
I
that's
genuinely before I start the meal, that I'll just breathe in through my nose. I'll just let my heart rate fucking drop, and then I'll just eat, and it just you feel empty, mate. Like
two things here as well. First thing, actually, and I know this might sound, if you're not kind of heard this, but meditation is actually very, very good now. Meditation is not some sort of fucking monk like practice. It's literally just focusing on your breathing now. An
yeah,
app that I would highly recommend people get, it's called State, and it's just a breathing app. And if you are, going through stressful times of your period, or you feel like you're having problems with your digestion, before every single one of your meal, go on the app, and it's literally like 3 to 5 minute exercises to help you. It literally says on the app, it helps you get in a rest and digest state. So switch to a sort of parasympathetic tone. And it can also help with sleep as well, before sleep, and just meditation and that stay up is two things I'd highly recommend if you are, maybe facing digestion problems or you're very, very stressed out. Again, this is a very, 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 very overlooked factor. Again, stress management, so, so key. And
hmm
it's, people don't really think about it because it's not something that you can sort of track in a sense,
yeah. You
like,
can't
like,
see it. It's not
like
tangible in a way. Like
you can't there's not like things you can see that like, oh, I'm very parasympathetic right now. You don't really realize you're in that zone, if that makes sense. So, you know, there's when it comes to the nervous system, you got sympathetic tone, parasympathetic tone. Out with training, we want to be mostly in that parasympathetic state where you again your digestion's gonna be a lot better. You're gonna be resting, recovering. That sympathetic tone, we really want to be there pretty much only, in training where it actually matters, when we're actually want to push ourselves to limits, train hard, etc. But I think that's very, very important to realize that you primarily want to be in that state. And if you feel like, when you're eating a meal that you're stressed out, this is something I just did as well, is I actually just stopped eating at my desk. Just again,
yeah,
it's not even something I'm conscious of, but I just like started eating in my living room, and honestly, I have found a lot of benefits, even just like towards my productivity and my work, just getting away from my desk. Because like literally, like, if I'm sitting at my desk, like the only time away from my desk would be the gym. I'm
hmm
working at my desk, I'm doing podcasts at my desk, I'm making content at my desk, I'm eating at my desk, and it's just like I'm doing everything here. And again, like that's a working as a sort of a stress in itself. And if I'm going straight into work and then eating at the same place, like that may, and I did notice it did have a little bit of an impact on my ability to digest food.
yeah. No, 100%, mate. Like I'll very rarely eat at my desk as well.
Yeah.
Like I'm always just on the couch. I'll just sit on the couch, chill out, just digest the food. Generally, simple as that. Just having separate sort of environments for different things. I think,
Yeah.
as you say, I think that does have that little bit of a 1% sort of benefit.
The last question I've got here, and then we can get into the most far off it thing in the week to round off the
Oh
podcast because
yeah.
someone put their thing in there. So, final question here: how much fat and fiber do you allocate to pre-workout timing of pre-workout?
So, so for I want to start with the timing of pre-workout first. What do you mean, like timing? Like,
So, like, you just said timing of pre-workout question mark. So, like, how long you would eat your pre-workout before you train?
oh, how long? I actually got someone asking me that the other day. Just on DMs. Like 45 minutes to an hour.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. I'm
uh,
I actually
super
I
person
used
dependent though.
100%. Like, mate, I used to be 90 minutes, but I've changed it to an hour now just because my pre-workout digests
Hmm.
like so well, and I'm ready
Yeah.
to go train.
Yeah, it depends. Like, see if you're in an off season where like your food is super high and it's taking a little while to digest, then you may want a little bit longer. You may want a little bit of movement
Yep.
um after that meal. But again, 45 minutes to 90,
Yep.
realistically. I could even sometimes go 30 minutes and then go
Also,
train and I'm fine.
that does relate to the other half of the question as well in regards to fat
Hmm.
and fiber. So I think, again, very person dependent, but what you need to realize is, fat and fiber, they slow gastric emptying. So,
Hmm.
you know, how quickly that food leaves your stomach, how quickly that food digests. And obviously, if you have higher fat in that pre-workout meal, higher fiber, you probably will need, a little bit longer time before you go train or you feel like you're
Hmm.
able to train. So again, that's something to consider there. But is there, personally for you or clients, how do you go about fat and fiber in your pre-workout meal, or is that even something, especially fiber, is that something you consider, etc.?
Um, for a baseline, I kind of just spread fat and fiber evenly throughout the day and then just look at sort of biofeedback and then go from
Yep.
there. Like for instance, it's like a general rule of thumb. People like a little bit more fat in their pre-workout meal, but I was noticing that was kind of offsetting digestion a little bit. I literally took 5 grams of fat from my pre-workout meal and put it into two later on meals, and they literally spread it out like 2.5 grams of fat each, and it's fine. So I'm literally about 15 grams of fat in my pre-workout meal. I'll pull up my fiber as well. It's it's mainly sort of just spread evenly sort of throughout the day.
Yep. So
But I think
personally,
just
I have like minimal fats in my pre-workout meal. I
hmm
literally have I think I have like 5 grams of fat in the pre-workout meal. And again, the reason for that is I just want that pre-workout meal to digest as fast as possible to go work out. I don't want to
hmm
be again, you do not want to be digesting food as you go to train for many, many reasons. But if fiber as well, I have less fiber in other meals, but it's still a decent amount of fiber. So I literally just have, you know, 50 grams of veg compared to every single other of my meals where I have 100 grams of veg there. So again, a little
hmm
bit less veg, a little bit less food volume. Again, easier to digest there. So that's my take on that. And again, if if you're having your pre-workout meal maybe 2 to 3 hours before you train, then again maybe actually maybe of benefit to have higher fat, higher fiber. Again, a lot of things to consider there.
Yeah, 100%. That's what I say. Just like kind of spread it out evenly throughout the day and then just go off of the individual sort of biofeedback, as I say. But I've got 5 grams of fiber in my 4.5 grams of fiber
Yeah.
in my
So
pre-workout meal.
I think the main thing is just comfort, digestion speed, how you feel like that meal sits well with you.
Yeah.
Again, I literally have sushi rice. Again, really low volume. Sushi rice, low amounts of chicken, like literally 110 grams of chicken. Don't have any fat source in there. Let's just have 100 grams of pineapple, again, which can help with digestion in a sense. And then 50 grams of veg, and that's my pre-workout meal, and that sits so well. I'm literally able to train. If I want to, I could go train 30 minutes after, but I wait an
Yeah.
hour. It's feel empty, comfortable. And that's pretty much what I would say. Again, very, very person dependent there and time related. And again, what you realize as well is, fiber and fat will make you feeling more full as well. Your satiety will be increased from that meal. So again, when it comes to a diet, something to consider. Even when it not even comes when it comes to pre-workout meals, but like all your meals, that's something you can consider as well. So that's what I would say there.
No, genuinely spot on, mate. Spot on.
Yeah, mega.
I'm gonna get the
I feel
most
like
far off it.
that's something that, you know, we always like aim to do is like when people ask these questions, is not just give like recommendations, but actually give you the knowledge to make your own decisions,
Yeah,
and
and kind of real world examples that you can have your sort of
100%.
baselines like, oh, like say like, oh, 0.3 to 0.5 grams of fat per pound
Yeah.
of body weight per day. But like it's these little rough guidances are almost kind of useless without real world application.
Yeah. In bodybuilding, there's no like do X, Y will happen, because there's
Hmm.
a genetic response, individuality, and this is also what I love about bodybuilding, because especially when it comes to coaching,
Yeah,
everyone's
everyone's
different,
different.
and
Yeah.
you need to take on the feedback, the look, etc., whatever it may be. You take in every single consideration to make your decision.
It's literally just like a puzzle.
That is literally, mate, it's such a one big puzzle, one big kind of
Hmm.
ultra problem solving.
It's like one big Skylanders puzzle.
That's literally what it is, mate.
Fuck,
That's
those games
literally
are
what it
so
is.
peak, man.
Is right. Last segment of the podcast, rounding it off. The most far off it thing of the week, and a viewer has put in their most far off it thing. So, most far off it thing this week was someone using a standing calf raise machine as an overhead press. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. That's pretty
See,
good.
to be fair though, like that is pretty good. I would probably look and think, "What the fuck are you doing?" But at the same time,
That is
though,
funny.
I think I've seen worse.
Have you got your most far off it thing of the week? Can you think of?
I had my most far off it thing of the week. I had this guy come into Argos, fucking dyed purple hair wearing a face mask. You already know the type of person he is. And he bought a pair of headphones that were £20, and he was asking about a warranty, and he was like, he said it in the most roundabout way. Bear in mind, it's literally like 10 minutes till we close. My bedtime was half an hour ago, um, and I've mentally clocked out at this point, and I'm just quite tired. And he's asking me all these questions about like the warranty of this product, and if I pay this much, do I get this much more warranty? And I'm just like, is this what you're asking? He's like, no. And I was like, is this what you're asking? He's like, no. And I was like, I'll just get my manager. And then like I went away and like he said to one of the lassies, he was like, "Oh, it's not that hard to understand." So I mean, just say that to me, like,
Yeah.
like that was quite far off it. I'm just trying to think. There was a woman in Argos the other day. She couldn't afford the fridge, so she asked for a discount on it.
She's asked for this guy just straight up.
Yeah, yeah,
Listen,
just keep anyway.
if you don't ask, you don't get.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty far off it.
Yeah, it's crazy work.
I think when other things that are pretty far off it that I've seen, I'll speak to you about it after the podcast. So such and such is the best, such and such. Like this, let me give you an example. Oh, he's the best. He's the best junior bodybuilder in such and such of a place. You don't know
Uh,
every junior bodybuilder in such and such of a
yeah,
place, mate.
mate.
One, no, he's
Especially,
not. Two, you don't know
yeah.
everyone.
See, when it comes to competing, mate, like you don't know who's going to turn up as well. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
mate. I'm going to be the I'm going to be the leanest on stage when people say that. Oh no,
Yeah. The most
that
far off it thing I saw actually
red
was, and
flag.
I'm pretty sure you saw it, my close friends. But it was in this like
The
little
Italian airport.
no, it was in like the Italian corner shop, and it was the right next to all like the Pope fucking
Mhm.
merch. The rosary beads was this like condom, like funny condom things, mate. It's so funny. I've got one here. It says like want to see my spaghetti. And it's like all like the Italian ones. It was so funny, mate. Um I've got a picture. I don't think I can show it in the podcast, but it's funny. That was the most far off thing. Actually, another far off thing was this actually happened twice actually. But I was in this shop and this Italian woman literally skipped the line and she was like she could speak English. She definitely could understand what I was saying. She was like, "Oh, I can't understand." She just skipped the queue. I was like,
Yeah,
"So I just
you're far off it.
can't be bothered." Yeah, it's so far off it, mate.
I did a far off it thing as well yesterday. I made
What'd
a
you do?
financially irresponsible decision. Obviously, I booked the flights to Italy, mate. They were 250 quid.
Flights.
Yeah, that was
Why was it
including a
so
transfer
expensive?
though,
Ah,
because
okay,
it's in the middle of July, bro.
fair it is.
I bought a DJI yesterday.
Did you actually?
Yeah,
That's far off it. That's far off it.
yeah, financially irresponsible. But
That's far off it when you
prep
actually
wise and
have a
all that,
Sony camera.
yeah, no,
Why did you do it? Like, just
don't know, mate. I bought two. I made an Amazon order, and managed to order the order twice. That's how on my story I had two rollers to apply hot stuff. I've got two hot stuffs coming. I think they're coming in like a week's time. Um, like two monsters and two low salts. Cheers,
mega,
Amazon.
mega. Well, that is our most far off it things of the week. Next week, I'm going to come in and I'm going to really think about it. I'm going to
Yeah,
bring a
we're
good
gonna
one in.
really get something fucking far off
Because
it. Yeah.
yeah, also the natural season kicks off this weekend. So next week we
Mhm.
can talk about that, round that off, which will be
Yeah.
very, very good. And then we'll also have the kind of we'll probably be doing show reviews. I'm not sure if we'll make it separate episodes or we'll just add it at the start. We'll see.
Yeah.
But I think that'll be very, very good. And then time for the natural season to kick off. And I'm sure both of us will be at a lot of shows this season. Until again, If any of you are there, come up, talk to us. We'll love a little chat. I really do like a show day. It's absolutely amazing, seeing everyone just being around the natural bodybuilding community. Yeah, I'm saying
Yeah. So
MBW and
your
all that.
Instagram
So
feed in one big building.
it literally is, mate. So next week, I want everyone to put in their most far things, most what? How do I word it?
Most
Most.
far off of things.
There we go. And we'll put up a question box. So put it in, and we'll go through them on next week's episode. But that is all from us. We shall see you next week. Thank you very much for watching, and goodbye.